I was preparing to shoot the president. Before taking the shot, I fired a test round into the wall and carefully watched a small pinwheel spinning in the wind. That told me exactly how the bullet would drift over such an insane distance. After adjusting my scope, I fired again and hit the target perfectly. Now all I had to do was wait. The moment my target appeared, I held my breath, squeezed the trigger, and fired. As security scrambled to find the shooter, I did something unexpected. Instead of running, I deliberately let sunlight reflect off my scope, making sure the bodyguards spotted my position. Once I knew they had seen me, I quickly dismantled the rifle, packed every piece into a suitcase, and planted a time bomb under the hotel bed. If the room was destroyed, so was the evidence. Before leaving, I triggered the fire alarm and calmly walked out. I got into a car I had prepared earlier and drove away. When police vehicles flooded the area, I doubled back, returned to the parking garage, and switched to my real getaway car. Even if investigators tracked the first vehicle, it would lead nowhere. Moments later, the tactical team stormed the room and walked straight into my trap. The explosion erased fingerprints, DNA, and nearly every clue. At the same time, my decoy vehicle exploded as well, wiping out the last traces of my escape. I had disappeared like a ghost, or so I thought. To my surprise, security checkpoints across the highways had increased fivefold. Every vehicle was being stopped and searched. Even disguised as a lawyer, I got pulled over. The officers opened my trunk and found a suitcase that supposedly contained a sniper rifle. They searched for what felt like forever, but they found absolutely nothing. What they didn't know was that the rifle wasn't hidden inside the suitcase. It was the suitcase. The handle doubled as a telescope. The internal support bars formed the rifle's frame. Hidden compartments concealed the trigger mechanism, and the bullets were stored inside the wheels. When investigators finally discovered how the weapon worked, they were stunned. The shot had been fired from 3,815 meters away, shattering the previous world record. Back at my mansion, I hid the weapon and greeted my wife with a smile. She thought I had just returned from another business trip. She had no idea her husband was one of the deadliest assassins in the world. Later that night, I contacted my client to collect the remaining $3.75 billion payment. 2 hours passed. Then a single message arrived. The moment I read it, my hand began to shake. For the first time in my life, someone had refused to pay me. I smiled because at that moment, they had just signed their own death warrant.